Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and well, it seems that the sun is setting on the game Deathgarden, and we're going to talk about what this potentially means for you as a Dead by Daylight player. So if you don't know what Deathgarden is, I'll just take you over here to their Steam page briefly, and it simply says, the Deathgarden Blood Harvest is a multiplayer survival action game in which a ruthless hunter tracks and guns down scavengers, desperate individuals trying to survive and escape the Deathgarden. So it's a 5v1 game where the scavengers are trying to extract and deposit blood, and if they put enough blood into the blood banks, then they power the exit gates and they escape, and they have to try to do that before the hunter murders them. So you can see it has mostly positive reviews here with 12,000 reviews here. 70% of the reviews for the game are positive, but they just couldn't get that sticking power. The recent reviews are mixed, but that's because we've had a lot of negative reviews recently of people who are upset that the game is going to stop being supported. You can see it came out originally here in August 2018 and as Deathgarden, and then it was rebooted as Deathgarden Blood Harvest earlier this year. So the devs on Deathgarden put out this tweet thanking everyone and explaining that the game is going to stop being supported. And if you click the link here in the tweet, it takes you to the Deathgarden website where it says, November 22nd, 2019, final letter to the community. Dear Deathgarden community, they say all good things must come to an end. Over the past few weeks, our team has been rather quiet about the development of Deathgarden. Witnessing the decreasing player base, we've been working on finding solutions. We sought advice, considered many different scenarios, looked at various solutions, but unfortunately none of them would change the fate of this project. Today, it is with a heavy heart that we're announcing the end of Deathgarden's development. To honor the production team's work, we have decided to give the game a meaningful last breath by finalizing every feature we've been working on. 2 years ago, a handful of passionate game developers at Behavior got together to develop a new game concept. This paved the way for great talents to join the team, and we want to acknowledge the work of every single person who took part in this soulful adventure. Deathgarden was, and still is today, a project of passion, a game that we wanted to make for ourselves, but also for players around the world to enjoy. This project made us go through a roller coaster of emotions from the first version to the reboot, and we take pride in what we've accomplished. We grew a lot from the experience. As a team and as individuals, we will keep on going, we will take risks and be innovative to meet our players' expectations. As for the future, the Deathgarden team has been redeployed to other Behavior projects, both live and unannounced. All of this work wouldn't have been possible without you, the community. We want to thank you for your continued support and contribution during the ride. We want to leave this adventure on a high note and make the work we've been doing these past weeks be worth it for you. In light of this news, we want to have one last moment to share with you. We'll be hosting Deathgarden's Sunset Play with the devs live stream on December 12th, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to share our love for the game with you. We will also keep Deathgarden's servers up at least through the end of the year, and you will still be able to play the game as long as matchmaking is viable. We're also making the game free today, so more people can join you. Thank you very much for your support these past 2 years, and we will see you again soon. The Deathgarden dev team. And then in the final update patch notes, it shows you here, final update. Hello gardeners. For our last patch, we added 3 new maps, a couple of new skins, and a skin set, and we have disabled 2 versus 10 for the time being. New map, Legion's Rest. In the desert biome with sunset weather. Garden elements are a trench, a bridge overhung by the ramparts that form a wall to protect an abandoned city. New map is the Citadel in the forest biome on sunny afternoon weather with dense forest, closed rampart, and ruins. Another new map is the barren city in the abandoned city biome, sunny afternoon, scattered forest, multi-pathways, small towers and buildings, and flat land. And then the new skins we have here, origin set for Sawbones. We're expanding the skin offer with a couple of new additions. Sawbones EMT origin set is now available, as well as 2 alternative colors, the Deep End and the Then and Now. Fog can now wear 2 new sets, Antisocial and Concealed Blade, We're also releasing 2 Halloween-inspired masks, Broken Doll for Switch and the Jack-o'-lantern for Veteran. And then there's a couple little addition fixed issues. This is the final update that we're going to have for Deathgarden. So if we check the Steam charts, we can see that the writing was on the wall for Deathgarden. Steam charts is where you can look and see how many people are playing a game at any given time. So if we turn Steam charts on right now, it'll show us that currently there's 466 people playing Deathgarden with a peak of 594 within the last 24 hours. But that doesn't tell the whole story. This bump in the numbers in the player base is something that happened since they made the announcement that they were sunsetting the game and that it was going to discontinue development. So these are either people who are taking advantage of the free-to-play aspect of the game or people who already owned it who have one more kick at the can before it's too late. If we look here at this line, this runs from November 17th until the announcement was made on the 22nd here. Right, this was right before the announcement. We had under 4 dozen people playing, and this line's pretty flat. It goes anywhere from 6 to about 48 is like the peak for this week here. So there's not a lot of people playing this game to warrant continuing development. If we scroll down, we can see here, okay, so this is when the game first launched the first time here, August 2018, and the average number of players was 569. And then you can see how it went into decline, where we were reaching by February and March, it was like 2 players at any given time. Then we had the reboot here in June, which came out pretty well like gangbusters with 1,300 average players. But then we see a continuous month-to-month decline where it goes from 400 to 140 to 50 and averaging, like I said, under 4 dozen people per day within the last 30 days. So the sustainability of it just made it not economically viable to continue with. It is great, however, that people have taken up the mantle to try the game out before it's too late and honor the game and all the hard work that the developers have done here. I just want to say to everybody on the Deathgarden team that they were nothing but kind to me whenever I had interactions with them on social media and behind the scenes in DMs. And truthfully, I always had fun whenever I played Deathgarden. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy the game, it just wasn't my number one. You guys know me, Dead by Daylight runs through my blood, so whenever I sit down at the computer, I'm always asking myself, what do I want to play today? And the answer always comes back as Dead by Daylight. So while I did have fun playing Deathgarden, it wasn't my go-to when I sat down at the PC. And in a way, I think because Dead by Daylight and Deathgarden were made by the same people, that they were competing with themselves. And once they launched the archives on Dead by Daylight, sharing some of the same players in their player base, the Dead by Daylight with the archives and requiring you to grind and play it so much to get to that level 70, it wound up cannibalizing the player base of Deathgarden, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, I think it just demonstrates how difficult it is to capture the imagination of the gamers and maintain it in this asymmetry genre, and it's a testament to how well Dead by Daylight has done in this field. We've seen a lot of other games come or go or struggle. Last year, The Nightmare, Friday the 13th, Soul at Stake, Hide or Die, Golden Express even, that I love. I could punch in the names of all of those games in this Steam chart on Search Games, and I will guarantee that every one of them has a lower number than this does right now. So I'm very pleased to hear that all the people who worked on this project in Behavior Studios is being reassigned to different projects. This is a difficult time for anyone to be out of work, so I'm glad to hear that the folks there at Behavior are taking care of one another. Now, the reason why you probably tuned into this video is, how does this apply to you? You may remember that when this game launched, they had a crossover promotion between Deathgarden and Dead by Daylight being owned by the same company, that if you purchased Deathgarden, you would get 2 cosmetics that you could use in Dead by Daylight on Meg and on the Trapper, and then you'd also get 2 Dead by Daylight themed cosmetics in Deathgarden. So you see here in this graphic, it says if you own both Deathgarden and Dead by Daylight, you will receive the 2 Dead by Daylight masks in Deathgarden and the 2 Deathgarden masks in Dead by Daylight. With Deathgarden coming to a close, the part on the left isn't that much concern to you. Now remember, this is only for PC users. You have to have both of these games in your Steam library on PC for this to work. It detects that you have both games, and it automatically unlocks these exclusive cosmetics in each game. You're only concerned with the ones here on the right. The 2 Deathgarden masks in Dead by Daylight, which is the Meg Runner mask and the Hunter mask for the Trapper. Now that this game has gone free, everyone on PC can just go on Steam and add it to their library. You see here, come down here, and it says free. So you would just click play game, it would download the game into your library, and those cosmetics would be unlocked for you. Now, what does this mean for console users? Since Deathgarden is never going to come out on console, you're not going to have this opportunity to own both games on your console and unlock these cosmetics. In my opinion, I think that they should just give them away for free. You saw my video about all the cosmetics that they are going to give out for free to everyone on December the 3rd when Chapter 14 comes out. They're already getting a slew of exclusive cosmetics for everyone on every platform. Just add these 2 in. I think the reason that these weren't added in already is because people paid money for Deathgarden and they didn't want to give away cosmetics that were obtained for people paying money for a product. Now, all the people on PC are able to get these cosmetics for free because the game is free. So I think therefore, since it's free for all the people on PC, now you should convert it and make it free for everybody on console too. So that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to make sure that all the Steam users out there are aware that they can get Deathgarden for free now, which will unlock the Meg Scavenger Mask and the Trapper Hunter Mask. And I would just put out a plea to the devs to just say, hey, console never had a shot to support the game. If you want to honor your game and the history of Deathgarden, why not just go ahead and unlock it for everybody, since all of the Steam users can get it for free now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Take care of each other out there in the fog. Bye-bye.